What's up, y'all? It is your girl, Rogue Mero, and this is What's a 9 to 5, Season 3, Episode 3. And we have your flyness here with us, Shiest Bubz. Y'all already know that a lot of y'all probably already know him from a lot of shit. Because as you heard, he be outside, but technically speaking inside right now.
Yeah.
He is a member still? What we say?
What?
Dipset?
Yeah.
Is that like a forever thing?
I'm an affiliate of Diplomats.
Right. Is that like a forever thing though?
I mean, it's branded on my skin, so Diplomats.
Well, everybody might know him from back then to Smokers Club, legendary Smokers Club, and now Purple Invaders.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you more about the Purple Invaders thing because, I mean, I've known you to always just you always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You are like master innovator. Like you just find a way to just, all right, I'm over this. Next, what's next? You always find what's next. Where did Purple Invaders come from?
Like you said, I've always been doing different things. So one of my first things was Purple City. A lot of people know me for that. So that was basically something I started 20 years ago, as far as promoting music and mixing it with the marijuana, the cannabis.
Heavy on marijuana.
You know what I'm saying? So when I came up with Purple Invaders, I kind of was like in this how would I say, like in the today space. Mm-hmm. I was on social media. Like when sometimes you don't want to talk on social media, so you use the emoji as childish that might seem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Use the emoji. So I was using the little invader emoji. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it reminded me of like the Purple City bird. Mm-hmm. So I would just use that, and it was purple. So I was like, and then one day I was like, man, fuck these emojis. I'm making my own emoji. Purple Invaders. I'm bringing this whole shit back. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I came up with it.
So is it like an innovation of Purple City?
It's
or like
kind of like
a rebranding.
It's not about the same. It is because it's about weed, but it's more directly about weed and not about music. You know what I'm saying? I cut the music part off of it, kind of, sort of.
So are we done with music?
I'm not done with music. I'm just focused on what got me to the music. You know what I'm saying?
So Purple Invaders is just solely focused on weed, right?
It's really focused on the merchandise, like accessories, clothing, and things like that. It's not really, it's based on weed. It's cannabis inspired, but it's just merchandise and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have? I don't know. Obviously, I'm kind of like far detached from kind of like the weed world. I want to get into it now because obviously there's lots of money in it legally. Do you plan on having your own strand? Do you already have your own strand?
So, being that we're the Smokers Club,
right?
You know what I'm saying? That's one of my babies also. That's the main baby. That's like the mothership of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, we have a dispensary now in Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, something new that we did. Basically, we closed the deal last year in November of 2020. And
how did COVID impact it?
What do you mean?
Did it impact it like negatively? Like was y'all still able to like?
We closed the deal after, I'm not gonna say after COVID because we're still going through it right now. But like when.
Oh, you mean November 2020? I'm thinking about November 19.
Yeah, last year.
So how has that been like for you?
It's been excellent.
So is it open yet?
Well, right now it's under reconstruction to kind of like give it our touches to it that we want as being the Smokers Club. So. It's on 8 Mile, you know what I'm saying?
That's so exciting.
It's 30,000 square feet. It's a huge facility. We're going to be growing in there. We're going to be doing all types of stuff.
I feel like, so you're going to be growing in there, but obviously it's a dispensary, so people are going to be able to shop there and stuff like that.
We have like a 3,000 square foot area for the dispensary. It's already built out. It's like functioning, but we're like doing a brand, like a store takeover. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have anything planned in terms of like, I feel like just me knowing you have something up your sleeve to make it like creative and fun. Do you have
Always.
like anything in just planned in order to make it like that? I don't know. I see you making like a damn playground in the middle of the dispensary.
Well, that's something that we are going to make it interactive. That's the word I'm going to use for it. It's going to be an interactive place where, it's fun. It's an experience. We are deeply embedded in hip hop with our company, because we put on festivals for the last 10 years, basically 7 out of 10 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing festivals all across the country. So it's gonna be kind of like a artist, like a hip hop cannabis.
That's fire. I already
You
know.
know,
I'm excited.
it's gonna be like, it's gonna be actually a destination spot. You know what I'm saying?
You
For
know what?
Detroit.
I don't be smoking like that, but I will be smoking it.
That's what's up. I mean, you know, there's so many strains out there for you, you know, for the palate or whatever. You know what I mean?
I think for me, my only problem when it has come to weed is like I do like weed, but it's a certain type of weed that I can only smoke. Obviously, everybody knows it's the sativas and the indicas. So obviously, I would like the sativas, but everybody be saying that they got some type of sativa and it don't be that. So I guess it's just a matter of like
When you say sativa, you're saying that because you want the uppity
I like
type doing things.
yes, I like
type
the
of
weeds
weed.
that like that make me like I'm very detail oriented naturally, but I've smoked weeds that literally like help me get shit done because my mind is just like so like almost I wouldn't compare it to like not saying that I'd be taking Adderalls or anything, but something like it gives me that type of effect. Like I just be super like focused.
Um, you know, when it comes to weed, it depends on how you smoking it though. Also, that takes into play on the effects that you get off of it.
I smoke it like in a blunt, like
So when you smoking a blunt, right?
in papers. Is that a blunt in papers? Give me the right terminology.
All right. So when you smoking a blunt, right? Technically, this is from a New Yorker's perspective, myself. You know what I'm saying on what a blunt is. A blunt is a cigar rolled with weed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying on any level of it. You dig what I'm saying? The thing with smoking that people like, they always be like, this is healthier. Maybe smoking papers is healthier because at the end of the day, you know, when you smoking a blunt, you smoking tobacco. So it's all,
But then people be putting a Fonto and a grabba in it, so
that's
that kind of
tobacco.
makes it the same thing.
That's tobacco.
Right.
So that's not the healthy way to smoke.
So at
That's
that
the I'm
point-
trying to get smacked off of like a little bit of weed or maybe, you know, I think that Fonto and paper thing came about because people were trying to budget their weed habits.
You think?
I believe so.
Do you smoke with Fonto in it?
Hell no.
For real?
For what?
I don't know. Everybody that I know that smokes weed, especially people that are like, I know like heavy smokers, like everybody puts Fonto or grabba in their shit.
You know, I think that's a very personal thing because you can't just roll that shit up and pass it to anybody.
Right.
So I think that's something that, you know, you do your little ritual because people like doing rituals no matter what it is. Like, it's a quirky thing, but, you know, to rip the little thing and to burn it and to crush it up, that shit is the dumbest shit to me ever. But to each their own, you know what I'm saying? I don't judge people how they smoke this shit, or I'm not in competition with that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I like blunts. I like backwoods, preferably. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been outsmoked?
Outsmoked? I've been high as a fuck, but outsmoke. I don't do competitions with people.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be like you're doing a competition, but it could be like y'all all smoking and you just be like, I'll tap out.
One time I tapped out, and it was like in the beginning days of me smoking weed. It was like super long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I passed that phase.
Oh, so it's just like you could literally just smoke all day, every day.
Until I'm just like,
Go to
I
sleep.
gotta eat. I'll get hungry before I go to sleep.
That's crazy.
And it's hard for me to get hungry because I don't just smoke weed and be like, oh, I'm starving, I can eat the whole fridge. I'm not like that.
Me either. Anytime that I've really like gotten high, like I don't be getting hungry like that, which is weird. Cause everybody be like, oh, I got the munchies. No, I don't get none
I'm
of that.
not like that either. But like I was saying about smoking, so if you roll it up in a blunt, that's tobacco you're smoking. And if you're smoking in a joint, you know, you're smoking it in papers. But the thing that people don't really know, they never tell you, you know what I'm saying? You probably heard of this shit before, but, you know, like when you vape, right? That's deemed really the safest way to inhale cannabis. Do you know why?
No. Isn't vaping like electronic?
It's electronic,
Yeah.
but the
Which
reason
I heard is even bad. That's even worse.
the reason why they say vaping is the safest way, right, is because you're not actually putting fire to the weed. You're just heating it to a temperature to where the THC comes out of it. You know, it what's the word when it condenses up? You know. Yeah, it
It what?
it evaporates into smoke. You know what I'm saying? Off the weed
But if it,
when you heat it up.
I guess.
No, listen, I'm telling you some real shit. You know,
Okay.
like when you hit the blunt, what color is the cherry? It's red, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when it hits a certain temperature, you know what I'm saying? With that cherry, it lets off carbon dioxide.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if you're hitting it out the bong, if you're smoking a joint, if you're smoking a blunt, you are smoking carbon dioxide with your weed. That's just to let everyone know. You can go Google that shit after and be like, what the fuck was he talking about? But I'm talking some real shit because I know this shit. I've known this shit for years. It's not something that, you know, weed's been illegal for so long that all the things I really, really knew and know are really not something that I tell people, that I've been telling people for years, because I'm not really supposed to tell y'all motherfuckers this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Because it was illegal back in the days.
Oh, okay.
It still is in New York. You know what I'm saying?
Did it just pass in Jersey, I think, right?
Yeah, but that's not New York, though.
That's true. I mean, but we could just go to Jersey.
We could just go to Cali, really.
That too.
You know?
What made y'all want to open up in Detroit, out of all places?
Well, Detroit is a legal market. It's not recreational just yet, but it's about to turn into that. So the opportunity arose for there, and we thought that was a good place for Smokers Club, because they're trying to rebuild Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
I've heard. I know that there's a lot of opportunities with like the real estate as well.
And it's not like we got the spot in Detroit because we're gonna go move to Detroit and live there. We're kind of like, we have the dispensary there kind of to empower our movement in Detroit and empower the smokers in Detroit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And keep it community based, or, you know, because that's what it is, yo. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I find really interesting is that, you know, smoking for you is pretty much a lifestyle. Like weed is just a lifestyle for you. So I've seen that you have explored different lanes when really just trying to, you're highlighting your lifestyle. So with the whole merchandise, and then actually opening up a dispensary now, and then just creating all of these brands that are directly, you know, related to weed. How do you really go about like just starting your shit? Like, do you just be like, all right, I'm gonna just.
I mean, I took an IQ test today.
Did you?
Yeah. My shit was kind of, you know, I felt good. I felt smart today.
Where did you take the IQ test at?
IQ.test.com. What the fuck?
I'm scared to take that.
I was a little nervous too. I got pressured into taking it. But when I took it, I was like, see?
I knew what I was doing.
Do I? I know it's so, like you said, it's a lifestyle for me. I've always been like that. I've always, you know what I'm saying? I thought that maybe because I smoked a zillion blunts already, that maybe. But actually, the only thing about my IQ test that I realized was that, you know, I'm a little like slower as far as coming to the conclusion. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't deem it as important anymore. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that I used to deem important, I'm like, I don't deem them.
But what do you mean by that? Like, you're slower to come to a conclusion. So it'd be like you are quick for everything in between.
I'm not
it's
trying
just
to,
ending things.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm not trying to figure everything out.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people are getting into the cannabis industry and they're trying to figure everything out. And for me, I'm not trying to figure none of that shit out. I've been did all of that shit already.
So are you just like, what's your approach on it now?
So my approach is, for what I want to manifest, you know, whatever that is, I'm kind of like taking my time with it because I create it. You know what I'm saying? And there's no rush. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in a rush anymore. I used to be in a rush to do things like, I got to get it done now. I got to do this. And look, COVID happened. And that's a prime example of, you know, taking your time and executing excellent.
Yeah, because it just forced you to have to really take your time.
Yeah. Execute excellent. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be like, you know, search for like this perfect space, but then there's another thing for it to balance out.
Yeah.
Like, you could be high in all these things, but then there's one thing, it just levels out your shit to where it's like, yo, still right here.
You know what's interesting with that too? You know how a lot of people say like, the reason why people don't actually do what they want to do is because they are striving to be excellent, so they'll never really start something. And a lot of times people give other people advice in terms of that. It's just like, just start it. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, just do it.
Yeah, I promise you. See, so it's cliche already.
Yeah.
So if you ask me that and I just said, yo, you got to just do it. But that really is the way to do it. Because you start something, but you got to stick with it. So it has to be something good enough to want for you to want to stick with that shit.
Right, and not just give up so quickly.
Yeah, so for myself, right, when I put together, like, because people are like, oh, you did music, oh, you do fashion, oh, my shit is music, art, and fashion inspired by cannabis. It's been that since day one, since 2000 when I entered into making the decision of what my lane was going to be.
Right. So was it a conscious decision, or you were just like...
It hella was a conscious decision.
For real? Like, It wasn't just like, oh, I'm so into this, it's just like, I might as well just do it.
Nah, it wasn't, because at the end of the day, I got into the game at 25, right? Mm-hmm. So by the time I got to make a choice, I was like 26, 27-ish. You know what I'm saying? So I was already kind of older. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was just like, and I had a job. I was in a union. Like, I was already making money. So I was like, am I going to throw away my union shit for this shit? It got to make sense to me. Is this going to last me 10 years or not? You know what I'm saying?
So when that happened, right, so you made...
I had to find a lane.
Right, so you just made the decision. You were like, all right, bet, well, this is what I'm going to do, and it just got to work because I'm not trying to go back to work.
Nope. I was working, and I was just doing it naturally.
Okay.
Like a lifestyle. I wasn't really forcing it.
Okay.
And then I was weeding things out. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a rapper. So I was just like, but everybody was coming to me because I had the bread. I had the money. I had the style. And I was like kind of...
The sauce, basically.
The sauce, for real. I mean, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Everybody got their own shit, but I'm the drip god. Like, for real. Like, when it comes to that shit.
Been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, but when it's your homies, it's a little different because, if you my homie and I'm wearing something fucked up, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, sis? You gonna let me come outside fucked up?
No, I'm gonna tell you look crazy.
You gonna be like, you look crazy, yo. Fix that shit, yo. Never wear that with that, yo.
We're like, you look crazy,
right? So it was the same relationship. It was like, my nigga, what the fuck is you wearing, my nigga? You could wear that, but
not like that.
Like that, just like this. What's this part? You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna have to switch that up a little bit.
So my shit was, I ain't gonna lie, I weeded out things that I didn't want to do, and I came to a point where I was by myself in a leadership box, and I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna have to do for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to.
And do you feel like people just naturally just gravitated and just followed you as that just happened? Like, it wasn't like a conscious role. You didn't make a conscious decision to be that person. You just were that person.
I was already doing that in the real world.
Okay.
I was already, I sold drugs for a long time. As a young person selling drugs and getting money, it wasn't just like some nickel and dime shit. It was like, I got older niggas working, I got younger niggas working.
So everybody looked at you as that person, and you just know what you're doing.
He know what he doing. He getting money. He's showing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't showing it like in a braggart type of way. Like, look at me. Mm-hmm. It was mad natural. It was mad organic. Like, yo, that's just him.
And people just noticed it.
It's like, damn, he got everything. How?
Mm-hmm. And they just wanted to know. With going into the cannabis business, the legal cannabis business, what are like 3 things you think that anybody that's interested in doing it would need?
Would need?
Yeah.
You would need to know what you want to do in the cannabis industry.
Because there's different
That's
aspects.
the first thing you need to know. Because people smoke weed, and then they hear money in the business, and then they're like, I want to go. I want to do that. I want to make money. There's people who invested millions of dollars in this shit who've hit rock bottom. Let's be clear about this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not the easiest business. It's not even for everyone, to be honest with you.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? As far as the roles that are played in it. You know what I'm saying? So I figure that if you want to get into it, you need to know what you want to do in this shit.
What do you say? What would you tell people is what you do in it?
What do I do?
Yeah.
I'm embedded in the game.
Yeah.
I don't really do nothing. I have knowledge. I'm a guru in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Even with the dispensary.
I'm a marketing, master in this shit. And a guru. I got over 20 years. I have really 30 years in the cannabis lane.
Yeah.
So, even through all the illegal, I have 20 years, 25 years, almost 30 years of illegal marketing for this shit.
Of legal or illegal?
I said illegal.
Okay.
Because
technically speaking, it was illegal.
I said marketing. I'm not talking about actual doing. I'm just saying coming up with the ideas. Like, even Purple City was based on me saying to myself, talks was that, weed was going to legalize in California. This was like in 2000. And the universe blessed me with the key to marijuana. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that in the most spiritual way. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, I have this key for cannabis. How am I gonna legalize this shit right now for myself right now? Fuck waiting for that. And I did that, which was creating Purple City and creating this whole record label based upon the key of weed.
Right.
Because my fan base was built through my customers and what I was already doing with the weed. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm doing over $1 million a month in weed, which type of customers do you think I have?
Right.
I got more than rappers when it comes to
that type of business.
people who know me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then now I'm linked with some rappers. So now it's really like, kind of like everything is stamping each other. It's like, he's with the top rappers, or they with the top weed guy. Everything's official. You know what I'm saying?
And that just makes you look more better. I mean, that makes you look just, everybody just trusts you even more because of the people that are gravitating towards you.
Yeah, everybody was gravitated. Everybody did it. I mean, everyone did for the most part because I'm a genuine person. But then, you have this other thing like, who is he? Who does he think he is? All this other shit, especially when you're really being humble about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when you ain't really got to say nothing, everybody's just like, I see him everywhere. What does he do? Like, who is he really? Like,
what does he do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if I approach him, I don't even know what to talk to him about.
Right.
He's in the music business. He has a record label, but he won't give you a deal. I signed myself. Shit me? No, I won't sign you. Shit me? Sign myself first. Dumb.
Focusing on starting here and then here. You got to figure this out first.
Yeah, we got to, this is a learning process for me too. You know what I'm saying? Doing the music. I just knew I wanted to legalize my weed ventures.
Right.
And I did it through finding a different outlet for that symbolize the same thing to me. You dig what I'm saying?
So real quick before we jump back into the initial question. So you managed to make money through the legal business before it became legal by just branding. Well, first off, you were dubbed as someone that's just like all about weed because of your lifestyle already. So you used your likeness to just build products that people would buy into because of your likeness, basically. And that's how the weed transitioned into just products and merchandise that people were just fucking with.
And for everyone else in the weed business, because that's what I mean. Sometimes it sucks being first because you don't get the credit because people make millions of dollars off of what you already did. But I kind of like laid the blueprint for it for everyone. Yeah. Everyone in Diplomats basically has a weed brand.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So there you go.
So
you know what I'm saying? Like in a good way though. Because the goal for me from day one, even when I was pushing the whole cannabis agenda and they were like, you bugging. I'm like, yo, listen, man. I'm not selling no coke or no dope or doing none of that shit. That shit is over. I'm not going to prison, my nigga. Like for somebody else telling on you. You dig what I'm saying?
Because that's what niggas was doing back then.
9 out of 10 times, that's how it ended. I've seen it with my own eyes. So you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to go down that road. So I was just like, yo, pushing the weed agenda. Like, yo, fuck with the weed. Fuck with the weed. I'm telling y'all.
So I think so. All right. So back to the initial question. It was the fact that you got to figure out what you want to do in the cannabis business.
Definitely.
There's many lanes. Would you say that the lanes would be like just basic aspects of it? Would it be like the grower, then what? The marketer, the brand? I don't like what comes in that.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's
broad.
That was a great question, but I get paid for consulting.
So
for those things.
I'm not telling you. I'm not giving you all the juice.
Yeah, because guess what? Like, that's research.
Right.
If you want to do something, you got to check it out. Because guess what? You know how many times I hear that every day? People want to jump into the cannabis industry. They want to do this. They're great marketers. You know what I'm saying? And then they have all these bright ideas, but then they're not part of the culture.
Right.
And then they get stuck. They have this brand, but you didn't grow the right weed. Or
you don't have the audience.
You don't have the audience. No one cares.
No one cares.
You feel what I'm saying? And then there's some people who it works for and they get it and they've had a long history in it and they put in work and they figured out the processes and procedures they need to do to make this shit work. Because guess what? You could have the culture, but you might not have none of the other resources. You don't have the budget to make a grow house and to get all the lights and to run the electricity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Your finances don't call for that.
So it's the figure out what works for you, basically.
Yeah.
And what would be the other two if you had?
I mean, shit. Knowing your lane is basically like sums up.
It's just the essential. That's just pretty much everything. Like if you're trying to get
Yeah,
into business, you just need to know what you can do and what you're
yeah.
what
Like
you want to do.
if you want to be a grower, right? Like growing is an art.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the shit really is. You know what I'm saying? It's an art form that they're trying to like really the corporate business trying to just make that shit like some machine shit. Everything is on. You know what I mean? But it's really an art. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you, I can have a strain, you can have a clone of the same strain, and they're gonna come out different depending on what
Isn't
spicy.
it like the lighting and
The
then
lighting,
indoor, outdoor?
the veg, all of it. There's different things that go into that. You dig?
Yeah, it is an art because it's like there's so many factors that go into just growing it
So
itself.
so how do you go from one space to say I'm gonna spend and dedicate all my time to being a farmer?
Mm-hmm.
See me, I'm not. I can do it. I used to do it, but I'm more a city boy. I'm a city guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more of a businessman as far as marketing and the business side of those things, mediating.
Yeah.
The game is a little different now. You know what I'm saying? Cultivators are trying to be in more control of their grows, and you know what I mean. So you got to find what lane you want to be in. That's first. Second of all, don't just think because you smoke weed that
You can do this.
you can do this. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good just to be a customer.
Yeah, I mean, I
Or
also
not a customer, that's the wrong way to say it. Is like a connoisseur. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And just enjoy the experience. You know what I mean?
it's kind of like it's in the same aspect. It's kind of you could compare it to just like there's people in this world that's really meant to be the bosses and people that are meant to be like the workers. It's kind of like the same concept that goes with that. It's just like maybe that's just not for the business aspect. It's just not for you. Maybe you're just meant to be someone that loves it and
Right.
and cares about it and admires it.
Everyone should, I mean, growing a plant is something that's, universally something I think enjoyable. Like you put a seed and you see it grow. Like other than that, people just people just want to smoke that shit. You put all this time into some shit and then someone smokes your shit and be like, I don't like this shit. This shit trash.
So with this
It's like over,
So with this new, so obviously this is a new venture for y'all because it's still under construction. Are y'all gonna be coming out with y'all own strand or for real? Have y'all
Yep.
figured out like what?
So
Because I know they have things like a hybrid and all that extra shit.
yeah. So we have a couple hybrids. We have a sativa.
A couple.
Yeah.
So y'all coming up a couple of like a different types of strands, like multiple.
We have a list of like 15 flavors.
Really?
15 flavors, you know what I'm saying?
How do y'all pick like what direction y'all want to go in? Do y'all just be like, oh, I'm gonna try this strand?
So like for me, I have a palette of like really like 6 things on my palette that I prefer. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then when we deal with the people with the genetics and stuff like that, we look for those characteristics and things that, you know what I'm saying, we want to develop when we're developing our genetics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We'd be like, yo, we want this, we want that. But we want it to be our own shit. So we'll find different males, different females that we want to cross
That's so
the
crazy.
seeds with and come up with different stuff.
The way that it's even compared to like human genetics is like male, female.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How did y'all even narrow down what y'all wanted? There's 3 of y'all, right?
Yeah.
So,
So we basically we did it off like a palette thing
okay.
of like the type of tastes that we like
Mm-hmm.
and we used like a couple of strains that we were accustomed to that we liked, preferably that we knew about already. You know what I'm saying? To kind of be like, all right, these are the type of things that we want.
Mm-hmm.
Comparable to this, but let's see what comes out of that. So like some of our flavors, like more than half of them, they're still like in the phase of development. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Of us even deciding if we're gonna keep them or if we're gonna get rid of them. You know what I mean?
That's very interesting. When are you guys?
It's called pheno hunting.
That's the process.
Yeah, of like deciding which strain that we want. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I've always been super interested in this, and it's the fact that it's just like it's literally like science. It's crazy to me. Like I'm like,
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. The coolest part is smoking it though. For me, you know what I'm saying?
obviously.
I like you, and that's my thing. Like everyone has their positions. I love the growers growing in their little dirty clothes and shit. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, dude, check this out, dude, and blah blah. You know, that's for them to do.
I'd rather try it.
I'd rather be like critique it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be the critic.
I get that. That's a great position to hold. I'm the critic. I like this. I don't like this. This is lacking in certain places.
Yeah.
So when are
But
you?
the palette has to be broad for that.
I mean, obviously you've obviously got that palette because you've been in the game for so long. So it's just like if anybody needs to be interested in doing something like that, it's someone that actually has been able to try so many different things.
And not just try them, but try them with that, you know, at hand, on the mind of being like, I'm trying this to increase my palate.
Yeah.
Not just to be like, oh, I tried this, I tried that, just for the fuck of it. You dig what I'm saying?
Do you have a particular like type of weed that you like, or like a particular, like if you your go-to, what's your go-to?
My go-to is shit.
You go to it so much you forget.
Nah, because I don't like really like I like all weed pretty much. It just has to be really strong.
Yes, but you wake up, like when you wake up and you get, I mean, I guess you have the weed. When you pick your weeds, it's like, which one do you normally like gravitate towards more?
To the more colorful one.
So aren't they the ones that are like more purple?
Yeah.
So the most purple one is the one you gravitate
Not the
towards.
most,
Okay.
because it depends my mood. If I wake
I
up
guess that
too
makes
happy,
sense.
I'm gonna go for the darker.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling kind of down, like I'm gonna go for the lighter.
Okay.
You know, the brighter weed.
Okay. Still a little like, oh, okay, but I get it. So obviously this is soon to be coming about. Do y'all have a date that y'all like set for it to probably be?
I mean, we try to be
ready to
fly
go?
and set a date, but it was kind of like the construction process, and especially with the COVID stuff going on, it was just like a little slower process.
Yeah.
But
So-
we made the changes kind of like minimal, so we can like keep the deadline short.
Close.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We
So-
took things into consideration. You know what I mean?
So y'all make sure that y'all be on the lookout. Detroit might be the new hot spot.
Yeah.
Just make sure y'all gonna have a grand opening and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a big ribbon cutting.
Just make sure you invite me. I would like to come.
Oh yeah, fly.
Give me
Can't
a
wait.
reason.
Can't wait.
Give
Know what
me
I'm
a
saying?
reason to come to Detroit. I would love to, see what the space looks like. I want to have fun, and I want to smoke up a little.
And until then, all of our merchandise is available on thesmokersclub.com. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
so mad I didn't wear my sweater today.
We sell out really quick though. Not to be like cocky or nothing, but we do sell out merchandise really quick.
I know.
It's in high demand. Yeah.
Y'all make sure that y'all check out the Smokers Club, Purple Invaders on Instagram, Smokers
Mm-hmm.
Club, Shiest Bubz on Instagram.
Yup. SHIEST. Okay. BUBZ.
This is episode 3, season 3, with Shiest Bubz and your girl Rogue Mero. This is What's a 9 to 5, and y'all see y'all next episode.